Hardware engineering is something that is trending in our current world of today. This hardware engineering requires special skills to help you trend in the world of ICT. And in today's video, I will be analyzing 7 important qualities that will help you trend and succeed in the world of hardware engineering. Hello and welcome. My name is Vincent from ICT Global. We'll be talking about 7 qualities that can help you trend in the world of ICT, especially the hardware engineering aspect of information communication technology. Okay. The first on my list is passion. Passion for hardware engineering should come naturally, all natural. Okay. If you find yourself watching TV, you see a particular movie, high-tech movie, and you love what you see. If you like G.I. Joe, if you like Black Hat, and it inspires you, you want to know if those things are actually possible in the real world. Okay, I think you're on the right path. I think you have that natural passion. Passion is something that will push you to want to know more. Passion is what will help you to uncover how a radio works. What is the component of a radio? What makes that radio to talk? Is there someone inside that portable device? What exactly is making it possible for you to hear what someone somewhere is saying, and what are the functions of each of the components? Okay, so passion is what helps you and drives you to want to know these things. Okay, now passion is also important because as time goes on in the journey of hardware engineering, it can be tiring, it can be challenging as time goes on. The passion is what will keep you going during the hard times, during those challenging moments when you find yourself, oh, this is just so overwhelming, you just don't know how you can proceed, you don't know what to do, it's just so cumbersome. Okay, so that is where passion comes to play. Passion is what will make you to not give up. It will, continue to help you to push on and on and on, So passion is very, very key. Second on my list, you have to be imaginative. Okay, now assuming you have a client, you have someone who wants you to do something for him or her. While this person is explaining what he wants you to achieve, okay, it's very important that you try to imagine what this person is talking about. And one thing about being imaginative is that it helps you to identify the constraints of getting that job done. Let's say, for instance, a client comes to you and say, I want CCTV camera in my home. Well, it's not a regular bungalow, it's a duplex. Deep within your mind, you should already understand that you are going to be running wires from the ground floor to the upper floor. And if there's any constraint at all, perhaps there are no provision for conduiting in the house, you outrightly tell your client that, well, the only option is to run surface trunking, surface wiring through trunks or conduit pipes, but it has to be surface. Okay, so you can let your client know outrightly that we can get it done, but it won't be through the conduiting because you have finished the structure of your house, and we can't break the walls again to pass on conduit pipes because it's going to destroy the structure of the building and all, unless the client is okay with you doing all that. Okay, so that is where being imaginative comes in. Every job that you must carry out, every project that you want to do must first be imagined. You have to analyze it, you have to think about it as though you are already executing the project. Okay, so that is where being imaginative comes in. Thirdly, you need the basic knowledge of physics and chemistry. Everything you've been taught in secondary school. Here in Nigeria, we make use of secondary school education. SS1, SS2, SS3 will come to play when you venture into the world of hardware engineering. Okay, you can't escape it, especially the aspect of current, electricity, electrolysis, some part of motion, okay, and a couple of other things. So basically you cannot push those knowledge aside and you still expect to trend in the world of hardware engineering. Okay, the fourth on my list is focus. You need to learn to focus during your course of executing projects for a client. It's possible you wake up in the morning and you have something bothering you. Maybe your brother or your sister is giving you some sort of headache at home, family issues here and there. You won't want to take that to work. You want to ensure that the moment you get to work, those things are pushed aside so that you can squarely focus on what you need to get done at work and you get it done. Okay, so you need to imbibe that knowledge. You need to get used to whenever you're going to work, anything family issue, anything personal issue should be set aside. Okay, if you are not able to do this, trust me, it's not going to be easy executing those jobs, getting those things done, because they will come playing in your head, and you don't want your clients shouting and yelling at you, not getting things done on time, and seeing that you are slack or you are just not competent. It will make your client to conclude that you are not competent in what you do, even though you are good or you know what you do. So far you are not hitting the nail on the head, you are not doing the right thing at the right time, and your client is present on site. Okay, it's not going to be nice in the presence of your client. Okay, so you need to also train yourself to always learn to set things aside, to push things aside that do not concern the project that you are executing on site. Another quality, which is number 5, that will help you trend in the world of hardware engineering, is multitasking. Multitasking is very, very key, because you see, the world of hardware engineering can be very broad. I've been to so many sites where I have to handle like 5 or 4 different scope of work at the same time on the same site. You can be on site to install CCTV camera, intercom telephone system, solar inverter power generator, and fire alarm. Now, these 4 things that I mentioned have different concepts. There are 4 different concepts entirely. Okay, now you can't take the word of CCTV and imbibe it into the concept of intercom telephone system. So if you are on site, you must structure your mind in such a way that as you are working on your CCTV, you already know what you want to do on the intercom telephone system that you are installing, and these 2 must not clash. They must go smoothly. Okay, alongside the solar system installation too must be going smoothly. That is where multitasking comes in. You have to train yourself over time and learn to handle more than one task at a time. It brings out the competency in you when clients know that there is no limit to what you can do. You can handle just about anything, anytime, any day, and get it done. It helps clients to build trust on having you getting things done for them. Another quality that I want to mention is taking shortcuts. I understand that there are several ways to venture into the world of information communication technology. However, when it comes to hardware engineering requires that you actually know these things. You cannot avoid knowing it, okay? Because hardware engineering requires that you meet people one-on-one, and oftentimes you get challenged. You might meet someone who is also groomed, who is too vast into the world of hardware engineering, and the person will want to test you. This person might be a part of a company that you're about to work for. It could be part of the workforce, perhaps the technical team, working with the management, and who has the opportunity to meet you before they actually grant you the contract. So you cannot afford to not know, and you cannot take shortcuts. There is no shortcuts in the world of hardware engineering. Okay, so that's another keynote, and that brings me back to point 3. You actually need to understand everything that you've been taught in high school. Your knowledge in physics and chemistry is very, very key. Okay, so if you're able to groom yourself in that aspect, it will help you to understand every other thing that you need to know, all the services that you need to specialize in. If it's CCTV installation that you want to specialize in, or intercom telephone system, fire alarm, access control, perimeter protection, computer networking, mention it. You actually need to know these things very, very well, because you're going to meet both local and foreign clients. Now, how will it be if you meet someone who is not from your country? If you meet a foreigner who always have this notion, there are things that people say about we Nigerians. Nigerians are not straightforward. They have a way of doing things. So if you actually key into taking shortcuts and you meet such people who have this biased mindset about Nigerians, it means that you will be able to prove them right, that Nigerians are actually not straightforward. Okay, so you don't want that to happen to you, and the first impression lasts long. Even if it's not you, even if you are straightforward, for the fact that you can't prove that you know that thing that you are presenting yourself to know, then you have already damaged your image before this prospective client. Lastly is recognizing your flaws and building on it. Okay, get to a particular site and perhaps there is a new system, something a little bit new from what you are used to. You want to go back home and study that system further, so that you don't get to damage that system, so that you get to install that system very, very well, so that you would give your client the best version of that system. You get to optimize the use of that system. There should be this consistent analysis of what you are capable of, what you can do, your limits, and probably where you are lacking, where you feel that you need to work on. God so good we have the internet these days, so if there's anything that you want to learn or you want to brushing up on, you want to understand further, you want to improve on, the internet is there for you to depend on. Perhaps there's an aspect that you were never exposed to before. It's only wise for you to go back to your drawing board and recognize those flaws of yours and improve on it, because you won't want a client to believe that you are only competent to an extent. Okay, you don't want anybody to believe that you can only handle these things to a certain extent. You don't want them to recognize that you actually have flaws in some areas. So whenever you recognize that there is a particular thing that I'm not really understanding, that I don't really get, take note of it. Don't ignore it. Make sure you work on it, tackle it. We've come to the end of this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can always get notifications whenever we upload new videos. Thank you. Bye.